Hello there. My name is Aubrey Nowicki, and I'm the very proud CEO and founder of the Student Event Planners Association. Very excited today to come to you guys with some very amazing information on the special event conference and trade show that will be taking place in Long Beach, California in 2017. Last year it was in Orlando, Florida, and I have two amazing individuals, SCPA leaders who've been a part of our organization forever, who are going to be sharing with you their experience attending 2016's TSC. So we've got Meryl on the call. We've also got Barbara on the call. And Meryl, I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself first, and then we'll have Barbara follow you.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Meryl Parks and I attend Texas A&M University, and I was on the board of directors for a year as the Opportunities Program Director, and then I'm currently the president of Texas A&M chapter.
Whoop, whoop. And Barbara?
Hello, my name is Barbara Moore. I joined SCPA at the University of North Texas, where I was the Opportunities Coordinator. Since then, this is now my fourth year working for SCPA on our board of directors in chapter development. Super excited.
Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to dive straight into the questions. Meryl, we'll start with you. What was your biggest takeaway from TSC this year?
My favorite part about it was the network that you could create from it. It's all available for you at that one place. So you can go to whoever you want to, different types of people, aspects that you're interested in the industry. And so it's just a great way for something to do right then and there, rather than like send in resumes or ask to meet them. Like you can just go straight up to them and talk, and it's a great way to build a network.
Absolutely. Barbara, same question. What was your biggest takeaway from TSC?
My biggest takeaway from TSC was probably it was just so big. At first, I had to get over it. Like, there were big people, there were lots of people, there was just so much cool things to see, all the new innovations in the event industry. It got my mind going and really was inspiring.
Yay! All right, so Meryl, how were you able to attend TSC in 2016, and what advice would you give to others who are interested in attending in 2017?
So the first reason, when I'm looking back, I think the biggest thing is that I was involved in SCPA. So everyone should get involved. But also I applied for the scholarship program, and so I was able to go through the help of SCPA. And so how I was able to attend is through the Hands-on 100 program, where I was volunteering, but I was also attending the event and get to experience all of it.
Absolutely. And Barbara, same with you. You applied through the scholarship program. Both Meryl and Barbara have been active leaders in our organization, and everyone is eligible for the scholarship program, so we encourage you to apply. There are a certain number of seats within the Hands-on 100 program that's conducted by TSC, and we'll talk about that in just a couple of seconds. But essentially, that value is over $800 and I think $20 to $65, $865 just for the education package that you get when you go to TSC with SCPA scholarship. So it's a tremendous value, and we encourage everybody to apply for that. Barbara, what should attendees expect from the trade show, and how might they maximize the experience?
That's an excellent question. So to expect from the trade show is first to be very discombobulated. So my recommendation for that is definitely to not only study kind of the map layout, but to kind of figure out who's going to be there, who's going to be where, and your plan of attack. Because I know a lot of people go in thinking it's going to be willy-nilly and hanging out, but in order to maximize the trade show, have a game plan. Even if it's starting from this end, going to this end. Yeah, that's my main thing.
Yeah, and I'd also recommend, typically the trade show opens in the first half of the day. It stays open, but you've got sessions in the second half. Do not sleep in. Do not skip.
Right. And beforehand, you do get a list of the trade show exhibitors, and I also recommend, even the days prior to the conference, reach out via social media, give a shout out, say how excited you are, and maybe even you get some planned meetings in there too, because you never know who's going to be doing what.
Absolutely, and they also have or at least last year, and I fully expect them to have it next year, they have a conference conference app. So you can go in there and kind of star which sessions you want to go to, which exhibitors you want to stop by, and there's also messaging capabilities within that. So if you don't get to stop by everybody, or even if you did and you want to follow up with a message of, hey, it was nice to meet you, that's also something great to take advantage of. Unfortunately, there was an individual named Samantha who was supposed to join in today, but she couldn't, and I remember her saying specifically, she was like, if I came back next year, I literally got enough value out of just the trade show itself that she could have skipped all the sessions, which we don't encourage that, but what we're saying is essentially if you are only able to attend the trade show itself, it's still so worth it to come. Specific example is me. When I first went to TSE my very first time, I couldn't afford the full conference registration, so all I did was the trade show, and as an SCPA member, all members get free access into the exhibition hall. Right? So we've got a promo code that you can use. We're going to be circulating that around through email communications and social media. So even if you can't get a scholarship through SCPA or you can't afford to attend the sessions on your own, you can at least come and take full advantage of the exhibition hall, and we highly recommend that you do that. So Meryl, I'm going to extend that question to you. What should attendees expect from the education sessions and events at TSE, and how might they maximize that experience?
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to Barbara. They definitely give you a list of all the different types of education sessions, and it's split up into, I think, 6 different categories. There was like, if you're interested in event technology or venue or floral or weddings, you can categorize how you want to go through there. So I knew what I wanted, and I just went through and looked at what titles looked most interesting, and so I highlighted those and made sure that I would attend those. And then also, you're just able to learn so much in those sessions. Like, it doesn't even feel like you're being lectured at, because all of the sessions are usually very interactive. The speakers get you to give some opinions, give past experience and all of that. And also, as I said before, it's a networking thing. So you can stick around after, give a business card to the speaker, or ask for theirs and connect with them on LinkedIn, and it's just building a network. So.
Absolutely. Another tip suggestion would be make friends at the conference. So there will almost always be a situation where there were 2 sessions that you wanted to be in at the same time, and you can't physically do that. So if you make some friends, or even just SCPA leaders that are there, I know we sat down a couple nights before the conference and we prioritized, okay, you go to that session, I'm going to go to this session, and we're going to swap notes afterwards. So that's also something that you can do, and highly recommend taking notes, because by the end of the conference, you'll be so overwhelmed with information that you won't recall everything. So having notes with you of like, okay, what did they say, and what site did they say to go to, or what book did they say to read? It'll all be there in your notes, so recommend that as well.
Oh, also, I have one more thing after Barbara.
Just real quick, be prepared with a pen and paper if you also have technology to take notes with, because I had an iPad and my speaker wanted to get off all technology, and I was almost not prepared for that and was kind of terrified. So bring a pen and paper.
Plan B.
Also, I would suggest that usually, I mean, it was only a few, but some of the speakers would say, if you want more information on this, or if you want a copy of the PowerPoint, or you want a copy of my handout that I give, and they say, email me, email them, because that's just putting your name out there. Not necessarily you don't want it, but it just gets your name out. So if later down the road you email them and say, I loved using your program, yeah.
Absolutely, and I think, Meryl, you also made a good point, too, that sometimes they ask for your card in exchange, like, hey, give me your card, and I will email you that presentation as an example. So make sure that you have business cards when you attend this conference as well. As Meryl has said many times, it's all about networking, so make sure that you're prepared for that as well. One of the questions is what is the Hands-On 100 program, and how do you participate? So I'm going to take over that question. The Special Event Conference is actually one of SCPA's esteemed partners. So rather than us hosting our own regional or national conferences, we have partnered with the best of the best, and TSE is the best of the best. It happens in January every year, but the city moves, so the location moves every year. And so this year it happens to be in Long Beach, California. One of the programs they have at TSE is called the Hands-On 100 100 program. So this is limited to the first 100 applicants, and the deal with this special registration is that you work 10 hours at the show behind the scenes, so you get to choose which events you want to help out with and what times those are, so you can still try and make adjustments in your schedule to make sure you don't miss certain sessions or events that you wanted to attend, or be a part of events that you wanted to attend, but in a kind of planning or execution capacity. It is first come, first serve, so I say all that. You need to make sure that you register in advance and choose those slots in advance if you want to go and help us for specific things at the conference. The deal is that you work 10 hours in total at the conference, and then most applicants through the Hands-On 100 program would work those 10 hours and still pay $500, which is still a discounted registration for the education sessions, for an education package, which, as I mentioned, is around $865. However, if you apply through SCPA's scholarship program, through our partnership with TSC, we have a certain number of reserved seats for SCPA members exclusively, and so those members who get our scholarship do not pay anything to attend the conference, with the exception of your travel and accommodations and any kind of meals or expenses that you have when you're on site. But for the actual education package, you do not have to pay anything. All you have to do is work those 10 hours, and it's a fantastic experience. So let's actually transition into that. Barbara and Meryl both participated on the Hands-On 100 program at the 2016 conference. So Barbara, tell us about your experience participating in the Hands-On 100 program, and what tips or advice would you give to others to get the most out of it?
Okay, so my experience is actually really positive. I loved the Hands-On 100 program because it helped me be in a situation where I could make more friends. We were all kind of there together, whether it was setting up and moving the chairs to which place, and then as well advice, right? So any advice I have is definitely listen to the dress code, whether it is to actually wear comfortable shoes. You might want to listen to it and abide by it. If it doesn't say to wear comfy clothes, also don't wear comfy clothes. So, or maybe wear nice looking clothes that also happen to look comfy.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. And Meryl, what would be your advice? So your experience and your advice.
Yeah, so I attended, it's called the wedding event, and so it was just this huge extravagant like dinner with a fashion show type thing, and it was so cool because with like not having a job right now, I don't have the money to pay to go to an event like that, so it was so cool to be able to attend that and to experience it. And it was cool because I obviously love working events and volunteering at events, so I was able to do that, but I was also able to attend it and enjoy it, just all of the things that go into it, just so extravagant. And then my piece of advice that I would give is to make friends, because they might be at some other sessions that you're in, or they might be at another event that you're working, and it's just friends that you could create in the industry. I know that I made a friend, and she's from New York, and I actually visited New York a few months ago, and she messaged me and was like, hey, would you like to meet up? And we had only hung out for like a few hours at the special event conference. That was just really cool to know that everyone's there, we're all love events, and we're all able to help each other.
I love that. I love that. And the participants in the Hands-On 100 program, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it was a good mix of individuals. So not all of them were students. Many of them, though, might have been their first time attending the conference, and for others, they're like legacy people who participate every year. Is that kind of an accurate statement?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So definitely a lot to learn. And even the organizers of the special events Hands-On 100 program, from what I saw and experienced, they were very welcoming, very helpful. You felt like your BFFs by the end of it, and they did a good job of like kind of just explaining the dynamics and including the participants and things. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so my last kind of question is, would you recommend others to attend TSC? Why or why not? And then any final thoughts. Barbara?
Absolutely, I would recommend others to attend the special event conference, not only for the networking, but also for, as I first said, just taking it all in, having the experience of seeing the new trends, who's who in the event industry as well, because you'll be able to tell. You'll see the people all in their cliques hanging out together, and you'll get to meet them and it feels really, really special. Yeah, I'm just thinking back, and it's awesome memories, and I still keep in touch with some of the people that I met.
And Barbara, aren't you also assisting in some of the preparation for 2017?
Yes, I am in the preparation of 2017. I live not far from Long Beach, which is where it is. So I am in a couple of the committees. I don't want to give anything away, but all of the events are going to be spectacular. I was at the planning meeting, and every committee head was pitching their ideas for the events, and I got goosebumps because it just sounded like their vision was just extraordinary. So I highly recommend hitting up TSC 2017. It's really going to be exciting.
Inside information, guys. All right, and Meryl, would you recommend others to attend TSC? Why or why not? And your final thoughts?
Yes, I would definitely recommend applying for the scholarship, or even if you can't afford it, just to go. I know that I was a little bit hesitant about deciding if I wanted to go, but look how rewarding it was. So it was just a really great experience. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. And it's also just a great way to learn about the industry, even if you don't meet people or you don't go to as many sessions as you wanted. You're still learning at least something that can help you for your future.
Absolutely. And I will just tack on to the end of that, guys, and say that the reason that SCPA specifically chooses to partner with TSC as an example is because we believe in education, and we believe that the best education is at those conferences because this industry is ever evolving. So the only way to stay on top and ahead of the game is to be present at these particular educational events. The benefit in attending TSC is that you get 3 birds with one stone. You get the education, you get the hands-on experience working behind the scenes, and you get the networking, which Meryl has mentioned many times, as has Barbara, and that's truly the secret to success. That's the key ingredient, and it's all about who you know. So when you go to this particular conference, you meet the best of the best in the industry. There's no way that you're going to leave this conference an unchanged person. You are going to have contact cards in your back pocket that you otherwise would have never had the opportunity to meet or talk with that person. And the other thing, as Meryl mentioned, and Barbara had mentioned, that even if you can't afford to go, all SCPA members, again, get access to the exhibition hall, so you at least have, 100+ vendors that you get to network there, not to mention all the attendees visit the show floor at some point during that time, so you can maximize that, and it is a complete city takeover when TSC comes into town. So from the moment you get into the airport and to almost any hotel in the vicinity of the TSC conference, there are going to be event professionals swarming the lobbies and the cocktail lounges and whatever, restaurants, etc. You will absolutely meet people. You just need to get there. Another fun, exciting thing is that at SCPA this past year for our board of directors, we did rent an Airbnb, and we all kind of stayed in one place. So we're planning to do the exact same thing this next year. We can't ensure accommodations for everybody, but we do also try as an organization to make it a social type event, even amongst our membership and our leadership. And I was very, very proud of Meryl and Sam and Barbara for coming out last year and representing SCPA. You could definitely tell that we were making huge advancements in the industry, and just having them represent was awesome. People know, and the word is getting out about SCPA, so coming there with an even stronger force in 2017, I know that will make a tremendous impact, and I encourage you, sitting behind the computer watching this video, to come. We want to see you there. With that, thank you both so much for your time today. I appreciate it, and I love you very much, and I hope everybody has a great year. See you at TSC 2017. Bye.
Thanks for having us. Bye.